Ever wondered why people claim to possess items or even, dare we say, other people? Is it a deep psychological need or just a quirky human trait? Buckle up as we delve deep into the psychology of possession. Today, we're setting sail on a journey into the uncharted waters of the human mind, exploring the intriguing concept of possession from a psychological perspective. We'll take a peek into the annals of history, uncovering ancient beliefs and modern insights. We'll dissect the power of cultural influence, examine the complexities of dissociative identity disorder, and unravel the intriguing connection between trauma and possession. From the brain mechanisms at play to the role of religion, from real-life case studies to cultural variations, we're leaving no stone unturned. So hold on to your socks, or your cat, or your grandma, or whatever you possess, as we unlock the secrets of the human mind. From cavemen claiming rocks to kings claiming kingdoms, the notion of possession has a rich history. The ancients often viewed possession as a supernatural phenomenon. Spirits, demons, gods. They were thought to be the puppet masters pulling the strings of human behavior. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and possession was often seen as a sign of moral weakness. It was the devil's work, a punishment for sin. Today, our understanding of possession has shifted dramatically. Modern psychology has framed possession as a complex interplay of the mind, body, and social environment. It's not about spirits or sin, but about mental health and well-being. It's about how we perceive ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we navigate the world around us. So from rocks to kingdoms, it seems possession is indeed 9/10 of the law, or is it? Ever wondered why Westerners feel the need to own everything, while some Eastern cultures focus on detachment? Now, that's a question to ponder, isn't it? Let's take a little trip around the world to see how culture shapes our perspectives on possession. In the hustle and bustle of the Western world, the concept of ownership is deeply ingrained. From the latest tech gadgets to prime real estate, there's a constant race to acquire. Now, flip the coin to Eastern philosophies. Here, the emphasis is on non-attachment, where possession is seen as a distraction from the path to enlightenment. And then there are indigenous cultures, where possession takes on a communal aspect. The land isn't owned, it's shared. The concept of possession isn't just about material goods, it extends to ideas, experiences, even people. So the way we view possession is significantly influenced by our cultural background. Therefore, possession might not be an innate human trait, but a cultural construct. Food for thought, eh? Imagine waking up one day and realizing you're not just you, but also Bob, Susan, and a 5-year-old named Timmy. Quite a jumble, isn't it? This is a glimpse into the life of someone with dissociative identity disorder, or DID. DID is a mental condition where a person's identity is fragmented into 2 or more distinct personality states, which have power over the person's behavior. It's like having multiple people living in one body, each with their own thoughts, feelings, and memories. Now, how does this relate to our topic of possession, you may ask? Well, some cultures interpret these multiple identities as signs of spiritual possession. The belief is that different spirits or entities have taken residence in the person's body. So when we delve into the psychology of possession, it's crucial to consider the role of mental health conditions like DID. So the next time you argue with yourself, remember, it could be Bob, Susan, or Timmy voicing their opinions. It seems trauma doesn't just leave scars, but might also lead to a bit of a personality shopping spree. Picture this. You're at a mental supermarket post-trauma, and your psyche decides to diversify, grabbing a few extra identities off the shelf. A little far-fetched, right? But in the fascinating world of psychology, this isn't as outlandish as it sounds. Trauma can sometimes fragment our sense of self, causing our mind to create multiple identities or personas. It's a bit like having roommates in your head, each with their own likes, dislikes, and traits. This is often seen in severe cases of dissociative identity disorder, where the mind uses possession as a coping mechanism to deal with intense pain or stress. So, if you're feeling a bit crowded in your head, it might be time for some mental spring cleaning. Remember, understanding the connection between trauma and possession is one step closer to healing. Ever wondered what's happening in your brain when you say mine? with a little too much fervour? Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of neurobiology. The feeling of ownership or possession is not just an abstract concept. It's deeply rooted in our brain's wiring. The parietal cortex, for instance, is a region of the brain that helps process our sense of personal space and ownership. When this area lights up, it's like your brain is staking a claim, shouting, "This is mine!" Then there's the amygdala, that almond-shaped bundle of neurons responsible for emotions. When you feel possessive, the amygdala kicks in, triggering feelings of attachment and protectiveness. But here's the catch. The brain isn't always a reliable narrator. It's influenced by past experiences, cultural norms, and even our mood. So possession is not always about the object itself, but how our brain perceives it. So the next time you feel possessive, remember your brain might just be playing tricks on you. Exorcism. A dramatic ritual or a psychological intervention? Let's dive into the spooky world of demon expulsion. When we think of exorcisms, we often picture the clashing of crosses, holy water, and frightening supernatural forces. However, from a psychological standpoint, it's a whole different ballgame. Exorcisms can be seen as a form of psychotherapy, where the demon represents a psychological issue that needs to be confronted and expelled. The ritual provides a framework for this confrontation, allowing the individual to externalize their internal struggle. Through the drama of exorcism, they're able to symbolically cast out their demons, gaining a sense of relief and resolution. But it's not just about the individual. The exorcism ritual also serves a social function. It reinforces community beliefs, strengthens group cohesion, and provides a narrative for understanding and dealing with psychological distress. So the power of psychology compels you to rethink exorcism. Ever noticed how every other horror movie features a possession? Let's dissect this pop culture fascination, from the spinning head of Regan McNeil in The Exorcist to the eerie whispers of the demon Pazuzu. Possession is a recurring theme in our favorite spine chillers. But why is this so? It's the unsettling interplay of the familiar and the unfamiliar. Your dear friend suddenly transformed into something monstrous, the human psyche pushed to its darkest corners. Movies capitalize on this uncanny terror, often portraying possession as a complete takeover of the individual's will, a horrifying loss of control. These scenes resonate with our deepest fears about identity and autonomy. But they also reflect societal views on mental health, often blurring the line between possession and psychological disorders. So the next time you watch a horror flick, remember, it's not just a movie, it's a psychological study. From Lord Voldemort's Horcruxes to Gollum's precious ring, let's explore possession in literature and mythology. These stories are rife with characters who are consumed by their obsessions, their possessions taking over their lives, their identities. It's a universal human experience, isn't it? We've all had that one thing we couldn't let go of. Take Gollum, for instance. His obsession with the ring transformed him, made him almost unrecognizable. And isn't that what possession does? It changes us, molds us into something we never thought we could become. Then there's Voldemort, using Horcruxes to split his soul, to cheat death. A vivid illustration of how we fragment ourselves, how we lose pieces of who we are to our possessions, our obsessions. So literature and mythology aren't just stories, they're mirrors reflecting our psychological selves. They reveal the lengths we'll go to hold on to something, even if it means losing ourselves in the process. Ever wondered why religious texts are full of possession stories? Let's explore the divine connection. Religion and spirituality often serve as the framework through which we understand and navigate our world. They offer explanations for phenomena that seem beyond our comprehension, including the idea of possession. Possession in many religious contexts is seen as the invasion of a human by a supernatural entity. But here's the twist. These narratives might also reflect our understanding of mental health. Intriguing, isn't it? The demons, spirits, or entities described in these texts often symbolize psychological struggles, personifying inner turmoil and mental disorders. In fact, exorcisms or spiritual rituals performed to expel these entities can be viewed as early forms of psychotherapy. These rituals provided a context for individuals to express their distress and for communities to engage in healing practices. So the next time you read a religious text, remember it's not just a spiritual guide, it's a psychological manual. From haunted houses to possessed dolls, let's delve into some spine-chilling real-life possession stories. Picture this, a quaint and quiet house in the suburbs where a family reports strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, eerie whispers in the night. Psychologists might chalk this up to a phenomenon called placebo by proxy, where the power of suggestion causes one to perceive events that aren't actually happening. Or consider the infamous case of a doll said to be inhabited by a vengeful spirit. Chilling? Absolutely. But from a psychological perspective, it's a classic example of projection, where we attribute our own feelings and thoughts to inanimate objects. And who can forget those tales of people suddenly speaking in tongues or displaying bizarre behavior believed to be possessed? Often these instances can be linked to psychological conditions like dissociative identity disorder or extreme stress. So, the next time you hear a bump in the night, remember it might just be your psyche playing tricks. If you're enjoying this rollercoaster ride through the human psyche, do hit the like and subscribe button. These humble buttons are the magic keys that unlock a treasure trove of knowledge. They're your passport to the fascinating world of psychology and the mysteries of possession. By clicking them, you're not just expressing appreciation for today's content, you're also securing a front row seat to our upcoming explorations. Remember, subscribing is the best way to claim possession of our future content. Ever wondered why some cultures have spirit possessions while others have possessions of land and property? Well, the concept of possession isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's as diverse as the societies that interpret and experience it. In some cultures, possession is spiritual, often seen as the inhabitation of a human body by a supernatural entity. This perception is prevalent in many African and Asian societies where rituals are performed to appease or drive out the possessing spirits. On the other hand, in Western cultures, possession often refers to ownership, particularly of material goods or property. This concept of possession is largely driven by the values of capitalism and individualism. Then we have cultures where possession is seen as a psychological phenomenon, often associated with dissociative identity disorder or other mental health conditions. And in some societies, possession can even be a mix of these interpretations. So, possession isn't just a personal thing, it's a cultural phenomenon. Feeling a bit too possessive? There's a therapy for that. So let's dive into the fascinating world of therapeutic approaches to possession. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is often the go-to method. It's all about challenging those pesky negative thought patterns that lead to feelings of possession. Then there's the intriguing realm of hypnotherapy, where the subconscious mind is accessed to address deeper issues. Imagine delving into the depths of your psyche, uncovering the triggers of your possessive tendencies, and voila, you've found a path to healing. Psychoanalysis is another intriguing avenue. Picture this. You're lounging on a comfortable couch, sharing your deepest fears and desires with a therapist, while they help you unravel the roots of your possessive feelings. And let's not forget about mindfulness practices. These can help you stay grounded and present, preventing possession from getting a grip on you. So the next time you feel the need to possess, remember, there's a couch and a therapist waiting for you. So what does all this talk about possession tell us about ourselves? From ancient beliefs to modern insights, we've journeyed through the realms of psychology, sociology, and neuroscience. We've seen how culture shapes possession, analyzed rituals, and even delved into pop culture. We've discovered how spirituality and mental health intertwine and explored real-life case studies. All these threads weave a rich tapestry, showing that possession isn't merely about owning things. So possession isn't just about owning things, it's a window into our minds. That's all, folks, for our deep dive into the psychology of possession. We've journeyed through history, culture, neuroscience, and even pop culture, unraveling this fascinating topic. It's been quite a ride, hasn't it? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to dive into the comments section. And if you've enjoyed this exploration, don't hesitate to share it with others who might be interested. Remember, knowledge is the one thing that's great to possess. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
Savored this video? Fancy another? Click the on-screen video for an even deeper dive into fresh territory. Your support is like a warm cuppa on a brisk day. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell for the latest content. Cheers for watching.